Hi, it's Jill from Maths with Jill, and today we're going to look at the Level 2 Functional Skills Maths paper from City and Guilds, Sample 4, the non-calculator paper. Question 1. We're going to divide 672 by 21. So we're going to do 21s into 672. So we could write down our 21 times table. 21, another one is 42. We add another 21 to that, we get 63. So 21s into 6 don't go. 21s into 67, well, there's 3 of those are 63. And that would leave us 4 left over. 21s into 42 go twice. But the answer is 32. 0.825 as a percentage. So if you're turning it into a percentage, you're going to times it by 100. And I always like to think of the first two numbers after the decimal point of the percentage. So it's 82.5%. Okay, so that's 0. If you needed to write it out, 825 times 100. You'd move the decimal place 2 places. Question 3. The diagram shows a cross-section of a metal bar. Which one of the following is the side elevation? Well, the side elevation they've marked over here. So you're going to be standing here as a person looking at it. Okay, so what you can see is what the shadow of what that would put on the wall. So it's got 3 levels, hasn't it? So it's going to be this one. So it's going to be C. A would be the front elevation. And B and D are looking at it from the top and the bottom. Question 4. The square root of 15 minus 6 all divided by 3. So we need to remember our BIDMAS. We haven't got any brackets, but we do sort of have an indices. So we're going to do our 15 take away 6 will give us 9. So it's the square root of 9 over 3. And the square root of 9 is 3. So it's 3 over 3, which will give us 1. Question 5. A box of chocolates contains 4 hard centres, 6 soft centres and 2 plain chocolates. A woman chooses a chocolate at random. So that's out of all of the chocolates. What is the probability she either takes a hard centre or a soft centre? Give your answer as a fraction in its lowest terms. Right, so the probability of picking a hard centre is 4 out of the probability of hard is 4 out of the total number altogether, so that's out of 12. And the probability of soft is 6 out of 12. So the probability of a hard or a soft is you add those two together, so it's 4 out of 12 plus 6 out of 12, which will give you 10 out of 12. And we can now simplify this, so you can divide the top and the bottom by 2 because they're both even numbers. So you've got 5 out of 6. Question 6, we're going to use this conversion graph to show what 6 gallons is in litres to the nearest litre. So the way we do that is we go up from the 6 gallons, so it crosses there. Okay, so we've got to be very careful of our scale. So if we're going across to here, it's hitting there. If we look, there's 5 lines between 25 and 30, so each of those lines is 2, so I'm saying it's going to be 27. 27 litres. What is 42% of 400? We can use this 10%, the 10% method to deal with this. So 10% of 400 would be 40. 20%, we could then double that, couldn't we? And that would be 80. So 40% is going to be twice 80, which is 160. Okay, so we now need another 2%. So 1%, we can go back to the 10% and divide that by 10 again. So 1% would be 4. That makes sense because 1% of 400 is 4. So 2% is going to be 8. So our answer for 42% is going to be that one, 40, and the 2, which gives us 168. 168. An inspector checks the weights of bags of crisps and he writes all the numbers in this table. What is the modal weight for the bag of crisps? Well, mode is most. Okay, so which is the most popular category? And looking at this, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25.5s. Just check the others. There's 2, 3, 24.4s. That's the most popular. So it's 25.5. And here we've got 18.369 plus 3.197 take away 2.475. So I'm going to do the first two first, adding them up. 0.369, and I'm going to add on 3.197. So you're always really careful to line up your decimal places when you're adding. So carry that down. Right, 9 and 7 is 16, sorry. So 6 carry the 1. 6 and 9 is 15, add another 1 is 16, so we're going to carry another 1. 3 and 1 is 4, add 1 is 5. Nothing to carry this time. 8 and 3 is 11. Carry 1. 1 and 1 makes 2. Okay, so now we're going to take away 2.475. So 6 take away 5 is 1. 6 take away 7, we can't do that, so we've got to borrow 10 from there, so that becomes a 4, and that becomes 16. So 16 take away 7 is 9. 4 take away 4 is 0. Keep going with the decimal place. 1 take away 2 we can't do, so we're going to borrow 10 from that one. It gives us 11 minus 2 is 9. And 1 take away 0 is 1. So the answer is 19.091. Question 10. What is the value of the angle A? Well, if we've got a whole circle, a whole rotation is 360 degrees. And this thing here is a right angle, so that means it's 90 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add up 90, 105 and 25. We'll have 90, I'll put 105 above because it's bigger. There you go, and 25. 5 and 5 make 10, so 0 and carry 1. 9, 10, 11, 12, carry 1, that's 220. So that's what all of these angles add up to. So 360 take away 220 will give us our answer. So we've got 0, 6 take away 2 is 4. So the answer is 140 degrees. Question 11. 8 bricklayers on a building site take 25 hours to build a wall. The site manager needs a similar wall built, and he can hire 5 bricklayers to build this wall. He needs to know how much longer it will take to build this wall. Okay, so first thing to do is we've got 8 take 25 hours. So we could find out how long it would take one man. So it's going to take him 8 times longer. So one man takes 8 times 25. Well, 4 25s are 100, so 8 are 200. We're going to take 200 hours for one man. Okay, but he's going to use 5 men. So we're going to divide. It will take 200 hours for one man, but it's going to take 5 times less for 5 men, isn't it? So we're going to do 200 divided by 5, which is 40 hours. Okay, so we want to know how much longer it will take. So we've got, originally it took 25 hours, now it's going to take us 40. So 40 minus 25 will give us 15 hours. Right, final question. A woman needs to work out how long it will take to drive to York. She checks the journey on her website. The distance from her house to York is 80 miles. 20 miles of the journey are through roadworks with a speed restriction of 40 miles per hour, and she should drive the rest of the journey at an average speed of 50 miles an hour. How long should the journey take? Right, so we can draw our speed, distance, time triangle. Speed, distance, time. And I like to write down what we've got. So the first bit, we'll do this bit first. So the distance equals 20 miles. And the speed equals 40 miles per hour. So time equals distance over speed equals, so we're going to have distance divided by speed, which is 20 divided by 40, which is a half, or 0.5. Okay, and then we've got the rest of the journey. So there was 80, we've dealt with 20, so there's the distance is now 60 for the rest, and the speed is 50 miles per hour. So time is distance over speed, which is 60 over 50. And we need to convert that to a decimal. So what I thought of doing was doubling it. So that would give us 120 over 100, which I can then nicely do, and we end up with 1.2 hours. Okay, so we've got 1.2 plus 0.5 hours, which is 1.7 hours. So we've got an hour and a bit of an hour, but we need to find out what 0.7 of an hour is. So we can take this 0.7 and we could times it by 60. That's how many minutes it is. It's 0.7 of 60 minutes, which is 42 minutes. That sounds about right, doesn't it? So the time taken is an hour and 0.7 of an hour, which is 42 minutes. And that is the end of the paper. See you next time.